Hello students. Today I am explaining about a new chapter, ray optics. This is for class 12 IIT NEET. For all the same syllabus only, ray optics. We are going very detailedly each and every concepts. Okay. Prepare the notes properly as per the slides. Okay. Chalo. So we'll talk about ray optics. What is ray optics? Ray optics. Ray optics is the branch of optics in which the propagation of light is studied by assuming light travels in the form of a straight lines called rays. In the ray optics mein, we are assuming the light travels in a straight line path like ray. Okay, like this. Ray, you know, right? Mathematics mein. So we are assuming always the light travels in a straight path like a ray. Okay. And next chapter will be the wave optics, where we assume the light is a wave. Okay. Now, it is valid when the wavelength of light is much smaller than the dimensions of the object and apertures involved. Very important. So this ray optics is valid when the wavelength of light, you know, visible light ka wavelength, how much? Visible light ka wavelength, like 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer, right? Which we studied in electromagnetic waves. Okay, this wavelength is much smaller than the dimensions of the object. Like lens ka dimensions, if you see, its dimensions is in millimeters. So this wavelength is very small, very much smaller than the dimensions. At that time, we are assuming the light is a ray. Ray optics will be coming because the wavelength of the light is much smaller than the dimensions of the objects and apertures involved. Right? Next. In this chapter, what are the things we are learning? First, we are learning about reflection of light, refraction of light, and optical instruments like microscope, telescope. We are learning. Reflection of light, we are studying two things. One is reflection through plane mirrors and reflection through spherical mirrors. Okay, spherical mirrors which we studied in 10th class, right? Spherical mirrors mein yaad hai? Like concave, convex, those type of mirrors we are using here. Okay, and plane mirror. So first we will study completely about reflection, then we go for refraction. Refraction mein we will study about lens totally, and lens maker formula, prism. These all things we will study about in refraction of light. And next, optical instruments, microscope, telescope, we are studying. This is a thing, complete chapter. If you know these three individual topics, complete chapter will be done, right? So first we'll go for a reflection of light. Reflection of light. Prepare notes, write notes clearly. Wherever required, pause the video and check, write the things. And when you're solving the numericals, pause the video and check, and then see the solution, right? Take. Reflection of light. Reflection. What is reflection of light? Malum hai na, reflection of light? The phenomenon of bouncing back of a light rays in the same medium after striking a smooth or polished surface. Such a mirror is called as mirror is called as reflection of light. So simple kya hai? Bouncing back of a ray of light. So this is suppose this is a polished surface or plane mirror. When you incident on the surface, it bouncing back. This phenomenon is called as reflection of light. Bouncing back to the same medium. That is called reflection of light. Understood? Now we will see the laws of reflection kya hai. We will see. Okay, understood, right? Bouncing back of a ray of light into the same medium when you incident on the polished surface is called as reflection of light. Now, laws of reflection. We know we have two laws of reflection. What are the two laws of reflection? First one is the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal to the reflecting surface at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So what is saying? This is a plane mirror. This is the incident ray. This is a reflected ray. And I am drawing a normal which is always perpendicular to surface. Normal क्या है? Imaginary line which is perpendicular to surface is called as normal, right? So what is saying? Incident ray, reflected ray and normal all lie in the same plane. Suppose I took a laser light and plane surface. This is XY plane. XY plane mein I am putting the light. So it will incident the light and it will reflect back in the same plane. It will not come in Z axis. That's why they are lying on the same plane. They are lying on the same plane. All these three are always in the same plane only. It will not go other than that plane. Okay, wherever incident ray ka plane hai, same reflected ray also that same plane and normal also same plane, right? Second law is very famous. The angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This you know, right? Angle I is equal to angle R. So here I will show the diagram. See, this is the incident ray, normal, this is a reflected ray. This angle of incidence is what? The angle between the incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence. The angle between the reflected ray and normal is called as angle of reflection. Right? And what is saying? Angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. And remaining angle, incident ray and surface को we call as glancing angle of incidence. कौन सा? Incident ray and plane mirror का angle को glancing angle of incidence and reflected ray and plane mirror ko, this is called as glancing angle of reflection. Sometimes they will ask, find the glancing angle of incidence. We have to know the terminologies. Okay. And here also the glancing angle of incidence is always equal to glancing angle of reflection, right? Because 90, right? So this, since these both are equal, then this remaining one is also equal, right? Understood? These are the two laws of reflection of light. Copied? Okay. Now, the above two laws can be applied to the reflecting surface which is not even horizontal. ऐसा नहीं कि only horizontal surface only we can apply the angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Any curved surface, any spherical mirror, any so much curved surface also, if we incident a light, when we reflect, if we draw normal, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. देखो, if I see this is a curved surface, I incident the ray of light like this and reflected like this. So if I draw normal, the angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. And this also, which type of mirror can you tell me? We studied in 10th class, right? Which type of mirror? Aata na? Yes. So it is a concave mirror. Concave mirror mein also, if incident, reflected ray, if I draw normal, the angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Here also, this is a convex mirror. Convex mirror mein angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. If you draw a normal, we can see angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection, right? So the two laws will be valid anywhere, any curved surface on a any uneven surface on low, the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Okay, special cases we will see. One is normal incidence. What is the meaning of normal incidence? Means along the normal I am incidenting a light. Then what will happen to the reflected ray? We'll see. Suppose मान लो this is a curved surface. This is a normal. This is normal line. So along the normal, if we incident, that means angle of incidence is how much? 0. It will reflect back along the normal only. That means angle of reflection is also 0. See, angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is the angle between normal and the incident ray. When you incident here, normal and incident ray are on the same line. That means angle I is 0. It reflected ray is also R is 0. So this is called normal incidence. Along the normal we are incidenting, it will reflect along the normal only. This is very important. आगे ray diagrams में useful होगा. And second one is grazing incidence. Grazing incidence. Grazing incidence क्या है? देखो, when you incident angle 90 degrees. So here angle of incidence is how much? 90 degrees. It grazes along the same direction में देखो, because angle of refraction also, angle of reflection is also 90 degrees. Okay, so this is grazing incidence we call. It will graze along the surface because to satisfy angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection, right? Understood? Copied? Okay. Chalo. We will show that for a light ray incident at an angle I on getting reflected, the angle of deviation is this much we call as delta. Delta is equal to pi minus 2y, pi plus 2y. This is a result you have to remember. Last May you have to remember like result. Okay. Dekho, this is a plane surface. I am incidenting a light like this with an angle of incidence I. Definitely the angle of reflection also will be I. Okay. If there is no plane surface, the ray would have gone straight. The ray would have gone straight. But because of plane surface, the reflection is like this, right? Finally the ray went like this. That much, how much deviation from the original line is called as delta. Delta is called angle of deviation. Angle of deviation only we have to find. We have to prove angle of deviation is pi minus 2i. Easy. You tell me total straight line angle is how much? Total straight line angle is 180 degrees. 180 degrees means nothing but this is a total 180 degrees, which is we call as radians mein pi, right? So delta 1, how to get? Total minus these two angles, if you separate, we will get this angle. So pi minus 2i. This is called angle of deviation. Look, we proved pi minus 2i is the angle of deviation. If you are going in the anti-clockwise sense, suppose I want to find this is the original direction of the ray and this is the reflected ray, right? Because of the plane mirror. I want in the clockwise sense, delta 2 I want. How to find? Total angle is 360. Then subtract. Tell me delta 1 plus delta 2 is equal to 360 degrees. That is 2 pi. I call as 2 pi. So delta 2 is equal to 2 pi minus delta 1. 2 pi minus delta 1 is nothing but pi minus 2i. So 2 pi minus pi is pi minus of minus plus 2i. So pi plus 2i is the answer. Dekho, pi plus 2i we have to show. So angle of deviation is pi minus 2i will be in the anti-clockwise sense. Clockwise sense mein it is pi plus 2i. Right? Understood? The result you have to write. I made a formula sheet actually chapter wise, every chapter wise, as per the notes we prepared the formula sheet. So it will be very good, okay, if you learn that formula sheet. Okay. Now second one. Second one is also result you have to remember. For a fixed incident light ray, if the mirror is rotated through an angle theta, show that the reflected ray turns to an angle 2 theta in the same sense. What is saying? Suppose manlo you have a plane mirror. This is a normal. This is the angle of incidence. I call as I. Angle of reflection is also I only. Is I. Right? So this is, I call this as normal to the first case. Normal. This is incident ray. And this is reflected ray. I call as R1. R1. Okay. Now what is saying? For a fixed incident light ray. So incident light ray is fixed. Incident light is fixed. Okay. Now if the mirror is rotated by an angle theta. Now क्या किया मैं mirror को I rotated through an angle theta. This is a mirror I rotated through an angle theta. This is a mirror, right? In clockwise sense I rotated. Okay. He is telling to prove the reflected ray will rotate an angle 2 theta. 2 theta in the same sense. In the clockwise sense only it will rotate. That one you have to understand. Okay. See, for this normal, for this mirror, I will draw a normal surface which is perpendicular surface. I call this as end of the second case. Okay. Now, if I rotated mirror theta, the normal will shift to the theta only. Right? Normal before I said the perpendicular surface. This is a perpendicular surface, right? But when I rotated angle theta, the normal also is a perpendicular wall also will shift to the theta. Now find the new angle of incidence. New angle of incidence is what? The angle between the incident ray and the normal. This is called angle of incidence. The new angle of incidence, how much that is? I plus theta. Okay. Then definitely reflected ray also will shift. Right? कितना angle shift होगा? Same angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. I plus theta it will shift. So this angle is nothing but I plus theta. This is the new reflected in the second case. Because angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So I plus theta you shifted, the I plus theta only will be the reflected ray. Okay. Now I want to prove this angle. The new shifted angle I call as alpha. We have to prove it is 2 theta. So kaise aayega? See, from here to here, the angle is I plus theta. If I know this angle, then if I subtract, we'll get this one, right? This alpha you'll get. Okay. So how to find this angle? See, from here to here is I, and from here to here is theta. Total angle is I minus theta. This will be this one, I minus theta. So, total angle is I. This is theta. This is I minus theta. Now how to find alpha? Total minus this one. So alpha is equal to, total is I plus theta minus, I subtract this one, I minus theta. So alpha is equal to, I minus I is 0, theta minus of minus theta is 2 theta. Khatam. Dekho. This is the result you have to understand. That whenever you shifted the mirror in the clockwise sense theta, the reflected ray will also rotate angle 2 theta in the same sense, in the clockwise sense only, right? So this is the result you have to understand. If I rotated 30 degrees in the clockwise sense, can you tell me reflected ray kitna angle घूमेगा? 60 degrees, because double, right? Double, right? अगर 60 degrees से वो घुमाए तो reflected ray, we can know 30 degrees बोल के mirror. You can ask here or here, right? Any angle you can ask. You have to understand. Okay? Understood? Copied? चलो copy करो. Done? Okay. Next. How much the mirror must be rotated to make the given reflected ray horizontal? Okay. See, he has given angle of incidence how much? 30 degrees. So reflected ray will also be 30 degrees definitely. Okay. He is telling the reflected ray को horizontal बनाने का. Horizontal means इस ray को exactly horizontal मतलब कितना घुमाने का? कितना घुमाने का? In a clockwise sense में कितना घुमाने का? This is 90, right? 30 minus 90 minus 30 is 60 degrees. 60 degrees अगर मैं घुमाऊंगा, then is asking what will be the mirror. कितना angle घुमाए तो it becomes 60. That means it becomes horizontal. See, if the reflected ray 60 degrees घुमाए तो only then only it becomes horizontal, right? So ये mirror को कितना घुमाना पड़ेगा? It is theta, right? Theta is 30 degrees. Because this is 2 theta. So mirror को 30 degrees घुमाए तो reflected ray will rotate 60 degrees. Double है ना? ये double है तो इसका आधा will be the answer. This is the answer. 30 degrees is the answer. Understood? Okay. Next. Image formation by plane mirror. Image formation by plane mirror. So first we'll see the point object. देखो point object में this is a plane mirror. I am putting the point object. And you know plane mirror देखा होगा ना घर में at home में whatever the mirror we are seeing, okay, that only plane mirror. Okay, so when I put an object, the distance of object to the mirror is exactly equal to distance of mirror to the image. Always in plane mirror में distance of object to the mirror is always equal to distance of mirror to the image. Okay, through ray diagram also you can tell. So when you incident angles at an angle theta like this angle, it will reflect back and appear to pass through the one point, that is the image. Image कैसे फॉर्म होगा? Reflected rays का अगर meet करूँगा, will get an image. Reflected rays को meet किया तो minimum 2 rays are required, right? So one more drawing I put, incident ray, reflected ray. Reflected ray is not meeting somewhere. If I extend backwards, it is meeting at this point where the image is formed. So आपको remember करने का distance of object from the mirror is always equal to distance of mirror to the image. So लिखो, for a plane mirror, image is formed as far behind the mirror as the object in front of it. कितना दूर में रहेगा, same उतना ही दूर में image रहेगा. Right? Understood? So we can draw ray diagram also. Ray diagram also थोड़ा helpful होगा आगे का. So when you incident ray of light, it will reflect back and appear to pass through the point image. आया? चलो. Next. Note, the line joining the point object and the image is always perpendicular to the reflecting surface. See, the line joining the object, point object and the image is always perpendicular to reflecting surface. Suppose if I put an object here, mirror is there here. So मैं क्या करूँगा extend करने का, the line, इसका image कितना होगा x से, तो image will be also x distance दूर में रहेगा. So what is saying, the line joining point object and image का line is always perpendicular to surface. देखो always, this concept you have to use for numericals के लिए. Okay, the line plane mirror, the line joining the object and the image is always perpendicular to the surface. Okay, इसका suppose मान लो x distance दूर में ऐसा है mirror. So आपको same x distance दूर में image will be there. And what is the concept? The line joining object and image is always perpendicular to surface. That concept you have to understand in plane mirror. Okay. And this image is nothing but which image? Virtual image, right? Virtual image where rays are appear to meet, right? That they are not actually meeting, appear to meet. That's why they are called virtual image. So image formed by the plane mirror is virtual always. Appear to meet wala always virtual. Actually meet wala, reflected rays actually meet, that is called real image. Copied? Sure. Now numericals करेंगे based on the concept of the plane mirror का. चलो. Find the location of the image. इसका image, I put an object here. कौन सा 2 meters दूर में from the mirror, plane mirror, 30 degrees angle में I put an object. इसका मुझे image चाहिए, location of the image. So कैसा आएगा, tell me? So you know this distance मान लो x and same distance में the image also will form. So it's telling to find the value of x. So x का कैसा आएगा, इसका कंपोनेंट निकालो, 2 का इस तरफ कंपोनेंट क्या होगा, 2 का wherever theta is there उस कंपोनेंट will be 2 cos 30, उसका perpendicular will be 2 sin 30, right? So this is 2 sin 30, 2 sin 30. So it is 2 into 1 by 2, 1 meter. So now x is 1 meter, that means this also 1 meter. So what is the location of the image is 1 meter distance दूर में image is formed from the mirror. Okay, understood? So we have to and see the line joining the object to the image is always perpendicular. Then only this will happen. You have to draw perpendicular distance, then only try to find distance. Understood? So next question. Dekho, find the location of image. Here I place an object. The mirror is 30 degrees में with the line surface. Horizontal से 30 degrees में, and the object is placed 6 centimeters from here. So आपको location of the image चाहिए. Image कैसा आएगा? So आपको क्या करेंगे? First you draw a perpendicular line. So here this is the x, right? Perpendicular distance, and same x distance दूर में the image is formed. So perpendicular only, that should be perpendicular. The line joining the object to the image is always perpendicular to surface. Okay. Now our intention is to find x. X कैसा आएगा? This is 6, right? 6 centimeters. And this is 90. 90 का opposite one is called hypotenuse, right? So you can use sin 30. Right angle में we can use trigonometry, right? Sin 30 is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite by hypotenuse. So 1 by 2 is equal to x by 6. X is equal to 3 centimeters. So this is 3 centimeters. Image is formed. 3 centimeters दूर में image is formed. समझ में आ रहा है? The line joining the object to the image is always perpendicular to surface. लगा के and distance of object to the mirror is equal to distance of image to the mirror. लगा के solve करने का questions. Plane mirror का कुछ formula नहीं है, कुछ नहीं, formula नहीं है. Just substitute. In this diagram में आपको use करके brain use करके करने का. ये करो. Find the location of the image. Object is placed 2 meters from here. Okay. Now tell me, find the location of the image. Image का location क्या होगा? Okay. देखो, इस mirror थोड़ा है ना, extend करो backwards. This is a mirror. I'm extending backwards. If I draw object से perpendicular distance and image से भी perpendicular distance, x, x. The x we have to find. This is the image form, right? Okay. So मैं mirror से कितना दूर में कौन सा coordinates में the image is formed is asking. Okay. Now tell me, this is vertical line and horizontal line. Vertical line and horizontal line, this is 45. And this also 45. Because total is 90, right? Okay. Now can you find the angle? This is 90. So this total is 90, right? Now can you tell me what will be this x? Tell me. If I use any trigonometry, how to find x? Tell me. Tell me. This total x, how to find? Bolo, how to find? So here x है ना, a 90 है ना. So this will be 90. So क्या होगा? Sin 45. Sin 45 is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 2, right? So sin 40 is 1 by root 2 is equal to x by 2. So x equal to 2 by root 2. I can call as root 2 into root 2 by root 2. So cancel. So x equal to root 2 meters, right? This is root 2 meters. This root 2 means this is also root 2. Okay. Now complete is 90. Now this image from the mirror bottom में कितना coordinates है I want answer. So क्या होगा? This is completely how much? 2 root 2. This is 2. Can you tell me this one? कितना होगा? 90 है ना? 90 का 1 is hypotenuse. So right angle Pythagoras theorem लगाएंगे. So ऐसे तो करेंगे. So this is 2 root 2. 90. This is 2. Can you tell me this one? Under root this square minus this square. So 4 into 2, 8 minus 4. So under root 4 is 2. Right? So this is 2 meters. So therefore, the location of the image below the mirror is minus 2, comma, y-axis में x is 0, right? So 0, comma, minus 2. Right? This is answer. आपको mirror से कितना नीचे image is formed means 0, comma, minus 2. Because y-axis में x is 0, right? X coordinate will be 0. 0, comma, minus 2 is answer. Understood? So आपको any formula भी applied? No. आपको extend करो line joining the object and image का perpendicular बना के the perpendicular surface, right? Always वो perpendicular लगा के solve करने का. Understood? चलो. Now extend object. Extend object को we will see how the plane mirror is forming the image and we'll see the characteristics also. You see, if I put an object height like this, AB, the distance of the object to the mirror is always equal to distance of image to the mirror to the image, and this also distance is same. So it is forming exactly in the back side of the mirror. That's why it is called virtual image. Okay, rays are appearing to meet, right? Virtual image we are forming, and erect image also, right? So what are the characteristics from this? We know virtual image and upright or erect image. देखो erect image is formed, and दूसरा size of the image is same that of object. The size is same. So plane mirror का characteristics है. Okay, the size is same, and virtual and erect and virtual and upright image, right? Copy down. So first we will see completely about plane mirrors का पूरा detail मतलब any book you can solve, you can answer the questions. If you write the notes properly and my formula sheet properly, you can answer any questions and PVQs करो समझ में आ जाएगा. Okay? चलो. Next one. Finding mirror image time. Finding mirror image time. देखो suppose I will given they will ask like 2 hours 30 minutes and 25 seconds में mirror image time कितना है बोले तो how to calculate is difficult, right? So उसके लिए एक shortcut बोलूँगा, always use mirror time is always equal to 12 minus the given time. Always 12 minus the given time. 12 this is minutes, this is seconds. 12 hours a minute से a second से minus the given time. Suppose example I'll give. Find the time shown in the mirror by the clock which reads 2 hours 35 minutes 15 seconds. इसका मुझे image चाहिए, mirror का image चाहिए. How to find? Always subtract from the 12. This is called image time. Always any given time में subtract with the 12. So 12 a minute से ये second से कौन सा 0 to 35 15. So क्या होगा? We cannot subtract from 0 से, right? मैं क्या करूँगा इसमें मैं borrow लूँगा. So when I borrow 1 hour to this side, So क्या बचेगा इधर 11 बचेगा, 11 आवर्स एंड ये मिनट्स में डालने का राइट. 1 आवर इज नथिंग बट 60 मिनट्स, 60 मिनट्स. ओके एंड इधर 1 मिनट में बारो लूंगा, 1 मिनट बारो लूंगा, दैट विल बिकम 59 मिनट्स एंड 1 मिनट इफ आई बारो हाउ मेनी सेकंड्स, 60 seconds. So yeah, 11 hours 59 minutes 60 seconds. This is nothing but the 12 only. 12 को ऐसे लिखा. Okay, and subtract करो now. 0 to 35 15. So कितना होगा? This is 60 minus 45 4 24 11 minus 2 is 9. So 9 hours in mirror का image में कैसा दिखेगा? 9 hours 24 minutes and 45 seconds लगेगा. Understood? So these are the things you learn everything. Next class में हम लोग क्या करेंगे? Height, कितना height चाहिए for the person to see the complete image on the mirror. Okay, अगर मैं some wall पीछे रहेगा, middle में मैं रहूँगा and आगे का mirror में पूरा image of the wall दिखने के लिए क्या करने का. So how much height of the mirror is required. Everything we will study detailedly. This is all we are doing reflection of light by a plane mirrors में. After plane mirrors we'll go for the spherical mirrors. So please subscribe my channel. Okay, any doubts comment so that I can talk directly. Okay, thank you.